I will say, for example, bidder number one, $110 million. $110 million to bidder number one going first. Second call, bidder number one, $110 million. Third, final call, $110 million to bidder number one, and then I will knock the gavel down. Okay. The bidding at $50 million, and we'll begin increments of $2 million. As announced previously, I will lower the increments or increase the increments as I see fit as we get towards the end of the auction. Once again, $50 million will be the opening bid, $2 million increments. At this time, the bidding is now live for the Flatiron Building. We would ask for the opening bid of $50 million. Who wants the first bid at $50 million? Who wants to start us off? $50 million to number 25. Thank you, number 25, $50 million. We've got $50 million on the board, $2 million increments. $2 million increments, $50 million, number 25. $52 million, number one. $52 million to number one, we got 52 on the board, $52 million. $59 million to number 25 is the current bid. We are back live. $159 million, number 25 for the Flatiron Building, 175 Fifth Avenue on the auction block. $159 million to number 25. Any advancement, $500,000 increments. $159 million. $159, number 25. $159. $159. Any advancement, $159 million, number 25. First call. $159 million. $159.5, number 6. A man for the theatrics, I respect that. $159 million, $500,000, number 6. $160 million, number 25, not to be deterred. $160 million. Rather quiet. $160 million. $160 million to number 25. All finished up. $160 million, number 25. $160 million to number 25. First call. $125 million. $160 million, number 25. Okay, back in. $165. $160 million. $500. $160 million. $500, number 3. Another man for the theatrics. $160 million. $500. $161 million. Number 25. $161. We're at 161 now, folks. 161 million. Any advancement? Number 3, want to get back in there. It's at 161 right now. $500,000 increments. 161 million. Number 25. 161 million. Number 25. First call. 161 million. Number 25. Second call. Third, final call. All finished up. $161 million. Number 25. Knockdown.
The only guy who's going to get it anyways. No one else. Yeah. Congratulations.
How you feeling?
You saved $30 million.
I feel okay. We overpaid, but not by much. So I had no idea what to expect. So this is a big relief to finally own the whole building and buy out Nathan's share. So yeah, it's a good day for us.
Did it go higher than you wanted it to?
I had no idea what to expect since the last time this guy kept bidding. So, you know, and there are a bunch of bidders around. But
did Nathan try to negotiate at all between the two bids?
we actually tried to see if we could make a deal with him to stay in as our partner. And I was not involved because he hates me. But the Sergenti people were, and I guess they failed.
Have you always hated each other?
No,
What's
I
the
have
genesis?
nothing. I have nothing against Nathan. To be honest with you, I just, you know, it is what it is. We had a completely different philosophy on.
So this was business. It wasn't personal.
What are your plans for the building, sir?
My plans?
Yeah.
It's a good question. So I have to figure it out. I don't know what this guy's.
The fucking Supreme Court.
Alrighty.
Is that Jacob Garlick?
Okay. So
There's always a little excitement.
take a little breath.
Yeah.
What are the plans? Commercial, real? Yeah.
I think we're going to make either half or all of it residential.
We need residential. More residential.
It's just unfortunate that we need a special permit, so it takes time. You know, everybody talks about the city accelerating, converting office buildings to apartments, and here we are ready to go, and we've got a lot of, the zoning doesn't, requires us to get a special permit, which I'm sure we'll get, but it's just time consuming.
And I think
What does
I
this
heard
mean now? You own 25% of it. Just what does this mean now?
No, we own
Now
100%.
you own 100. Just you.
No, my partners are Sorgente and Greg Schenker and his partners. So,
You're paying more than you were supposed to pay last time.
yeah, so this is a good deal. We saved $30 million times 25%. So we saved $7.5 million. So it's a good day. I mean, I thought for a minute I might be paying about $125, but I didn't. More than that.
You spoke earlier about your legacy. How do you feel personally about this victory?
Well, I've gotten a lot of publicity from this, so at least when I die, people will know who I was. So you Google me, you'll get Flatiron Building.
So at one point there was like
By the way, we've owned this building for like 30, 40 years. So this has been a long, drawn-out.
Are you still going to pursue the suit against Garlick?
I think so, but do he collect anything? I have no idea.
just in terms of how iconic this building. Can you talk a little bit about
I think
that?
it's an amazing building. I think there are 3 buildings in New York that are iconic. It's a crazy story. I was driving from Kentucky. No, I was driving from Ohio to Kentucky, and there was a restaurant that said New York, New York. And I went in, and they had pictures of those 3 buildings. And my dopey, I'm wearing shorts, and my dopey partner said, "Oh, he owns that building." And all the people came out of the kitchen to meet me because they couldn't believe that they were meeting the person who owned the building with the picture on the wall.
So it's meaningful to you. I mean, the building.
I have a picture of it in my apartment. I go down the hall. I have a huge, and I have 3 or 4 in my office. Somebody gave me a model. I have a Lego model. Lego made a model. So it's the only building I have that Lego's doing anything. So yeah, it's a good day.
For such an iconic building, what do you think that means for your responsibility to the people of New York?
They don't have to worry. I mean, I'm a New Yorker through and through. We own 40 other buildings, and I'm not going to do anything to screw up my legacy. So it's just a question of figuring out what to do. It's not easy to borrow money these days. It's a hectic time. So it is what it is.
How long do you think it'll take before the scaffolding can come down?
I hope a couple of months. Yeah. So that's what I hope. Yeah. What did we pay? I don't even remember.
What's the sum?
161?
Yeah, 160. and a half.
What is it, 161.5?
Okay.
I don't know if there's a 0.5.
discussion with your partners before this, like to say what's the final price?
The only thing I wanted to do was make it clear that I wasn't going to stop. So I just think that, when you're in an auction, you want to make it clear you're not going to stop. So I just kept going. I had a number I was going to stop, but I didn't want them to think that I was softening or weakening. The worst thing you can do is hesitate, call a conference, because that shows that you're not sure what to do. So that's why I kept putting my, whenever someone would bid, you never know.
And can you reflect on the price on what this, the winning bid? Can you just reflect on that, put some context?
It means that we accomplished our goal, which was to end our relationship with Nathan Silverstein and own the building 100%. And that gives us the ability to do whatever we want with the building without having his consent. So it's a relief because for the last 30 years, I've needed his consent on everything. And, sometimes we agreed and sometimes we didn't. There was a long period of time where everything was fine when we had Holspring as a tenant. But once they left, then it became problematical because we had to renovate the building and find tenants and stuff, and it became harder and harder.
Wouldn't it be easier to make it a commercial space since it's already zoned for that?
Yeah, except that the theory is that there are more residential tenants. Look, I know that there are enough residential tenants that would want an apartment in the Flatiron Building. There's probably enough commercial tenants that would want an office there, but residential's easier.
Are you optimistic about people going back to the office more broadly in New York?
Yeah, it would help. It would help.
But are you optimistic? What do you think is coming from especially Class B offices?
I think that eventually people will realize that the people who are getting promoted are the ones that come to the office. And that may ring a bell in their heads. So that's, and if we have a recession, then everybody's going to be scared to lose their job. So that may affect it. On the other hand, who wants a recession? But that'd be my guess that people, at some point, people are going to say, I better come to the office, otherwise I'm going to lose my job.
Wait,
How are
Jeff,
you
are
going to
you?
celebrate?
What?
How are you going to celebrate?
Actually, I'm going out to dinner tonight with two of my best friends.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I don't know. Someplace nice, my wife said.
Were you actually confident that you were going to win today?
No, I was not confident that I was going to win.
So were you guys like preparing to actually go about even like 191 like last time?